What is the best way to get to know someone's name when it's actually too late to just ask? Give up. Call them buddy for the rest of eternity. Introduce them to someone else and let them do it. Ask who has the worst ID picture and you can compare them. Start a cheer chant. You when I say my name, you say your name. Dave. Double quote. Them, Tom. You're, thanks Tom. Take them to Starbucks. Call them by the wrong name and when they correct you go yeah, what did I say? Ask them how they spell it. Call them the wrong name. You either get it right or they correct you. Ask them to put their contact info in your phone. I'm in it and like to make my name known to everyone. Since everyone else in our department are introverts, this makes me look valuable. So when the VP of Environmental Services came in and asked to help with some PC issues I was screwed. I totally forgot his name. Not only did I forget, I was about to be judged by everyone in the room if I didn't know his name. He's having issues with his iPad so I have him unlock it. Quickly go to his email account settings. He was having issues with email and found his name lol. I even fixed his issue. That was a scary moment though. So to answer Arp's question, if you are in a business situation, asking for their email address might help, unless they say it's the first letter of my first name and entire last name LMAO. Get their SS and steal their identity. I met some guy online when I was much younger, and he never officially introduced himself. Never knew his real name. Called him by a nickname. Couple months later we meet up. Still don't know his name. I only learned it half a year ago, having known him for 5 years. Went to his place, ordered sushi. He paid with his credit so I got a peek. He doesn't know that I had no clue. I don't know if this is a purely Swedish thing, but we have name days. Which is basically that every day of the year has a name or two attached to it. You usually celebrate this somewhat, at least you get flowers and cake from what I know. With this concept you could ask when their name day is, since no one really knows any other name days than their own, and look that date up later. There is a pretty high chance that they'll say their name during this topic too. I found that honesty is the best policy. I say something to the effect that I am so sorry but I am getting forgetful as I get older and I can't place the name with the face. Then say, I am, your name, by the way. Do this all with a smile. That's when I pull the ADHD card. So sorry, I know your name, I just can't recall it ATM. Could you remind me of your name again? They'll tell you their first name, then be like no I meant your last name, I remember your first name is, whatever they just said. And they'll be like oh my last name is whatever and think that at least you remembered their first name. Works for me this. Never say their name until you hear someone they know say their name. I teach karate, and if I forget a kid's name, my go-to way to learn their name is, quick question, how do you spell your name? Cause I've seen other people with the same name, but different spellings. Then it gets awkward if it's a name like Matt, Bob, or Bella. Get a limb broken, that way they'll ask to sign it, get them to wanna tell you. What I do in that situation is I give the person a nickname based on what I do know about them. Me hey Jake. NA my name's Jack. Me no. I was talking to my friend behind you. Jack, about to turn around. Me don't turn around. He's my imaginary friend now. Add their phone number to your contacts then open WhatsApp. It'll show their display name. Only discovered this last week, quite impressed. I just keep calling them man or bud or friend for as long as I possibly can. Ask them for their full name. By this they'll think you know their name and still tell their full name. How do you spell it? Admittedly, this backfired once. UMMLISA? I had my own sceneful desk thing back in the day, that is in the late 70s. I dated a girl and couldn't remember her name. We actually went out 5 or 6 times. Once I told her I lost her number and she wrote down her number with no name. We set up follow updates at the end of the current date but one time we didn't and that was the end. I couldn't bring myself to call her parents' house and ask to speak with your daughter. Saw her a couple months later and she had a boyfriend. I guess he knew her name. Just ask how would you pronounce your name backwards, then try and pronounce yours. After some failed attempts, say your name normally so it appears you're trying to see if it's similar. They should do the same, and once they say their name normally you'll then know. However, if they say it once and think they get it right or know they have, just ask are they sure. They'll say their name just to make sure. Ask someone else who knows them. It's never too late to ask. Marry them. Jesus Christ. Hey, weirdly enough I never actually caught your name. Just ask. Stop doing these LPTs of pretending to ask for the last name or some shit. Adults can talk, use your words. Ask them their full name. When me and my so first started dating, I forgot his name, so told him my full name, then asked him his. I call everyone man. What's up man? How's it going man? Man, I'm so excited for this weekend. What was your name again? It's XXXXX. No, I meant your last name. They think you only wanted to know their last name and bam, you got both. Ask a question about their driver's license, for example. Height, and maybe they'll pull it out. Ask them for the strangest misspelling of their name. Get them to put their contact info in your phone. It's never too late to just ask. If you want to fake it, just call them from a distance or so, and say something along the lines of hey fuck I just forgot your name, brain fart. Or just be upfront and let them know that you are sometimes terrible with names. I've never been offended when people forget my name. I'm forgetful with names too. I couldn't remember a friend's name in middle school even after almost 6 months of being friends. Everyone has forgotten someone's name, so it's not the end of the world. Plus, if they notice what you're up to, it might hurt more knowing you forgot and didn't just ask them. Forgot my cousin's name when I was a kid and I asked her how to spell it. Luckily it wasn't a simple name with only one logical way to spell it. Call them by your own name. I saw it in a movie once. Ask them if they have a business card and if you can have one, or compare with yours. Ask them their name. Ask them their name, then when they say their first name say that you meant their last name. Go to Starbucks, read their cup. Ask them to sign a petition with you, works every time. Take them to Starbucks. Ask their name. They will tell you. But then say no your last name. Ask if they can add you on FB or Insta because you're unsure which one it is. Go to Starbucks with him. In my state, if you look at the ID number on your license, the first 3 numbers added up equal the last 2 numbers. You could use this like a magic trick by telling them you can guess the last 2 numbers by looking at the rest of the ID. Not sure if this only applies to the state I live in though. Hey, how do you spell your name again? Just want to make sure I have it correct in my phone letter etc. Find a nearby friend or acquaintance to introduce them to. Be sure to say the name of the person you're introducing them to. Hey, this is. Generally, they will exchange names upon being introduced. If not, stick around for the conversation that follows between them. Normally, it will lead to the name, and possibly occupation or circumstance of how you were introduced, of the forgotten party. If all else fails, self-deprecation works wonders. Sorry, I'm an idiot and fucking terrible with names. Then recall the situation, conversation or small detail of the last meeting you had with them so they don't feel entirely forgotten. If you can't remember a name, people always appreciate their existence being echoed in some way, shape, or form by someone else. One of these should work. What's your name? Comma first name. Know your last name. A trick I heard is, what's your name? What, you don't know my name? It's no, I meant your last name. What was your name again? No, your last name. Act like you're having a brain fart. Most people understand. Mulva? If it's your neighbor or you otherwise know their address, and they own their home, you can look up the property records on your county assessor's website. Of course, this won't help if the home is in the name of their spouse or a trust. Go somewhere with them, split the check, and look at their names when they ask for ID. It's never too late. I'm terrible with names, so a lot of times I just don't use names. But if you really need to know, just tell them. Hey, my stupid brain can't think of your name right now. Sorry, can you help me out? What's your name again? Sorry, I meant your last name. Ask them to spell it out. Give them your phone and prompt them to fill out their contact info. Starbucks. Signature. Business card. What's the dumbest way someone has ever spelled your name? Make a fake birthday card and get everyone to sign it. Ask how do you spell your name, as you are writing it down or entering it into your phone. This has worked for me many times. Text them. Ask how they spell it. Ask what's your name again? When they answer with their first name, say oh no, I meant your last name. Ask them. When they give you their first name, say oh sorry, I was asking for your last name. If they give you a weird look, just say you want to find their Facebook or something. Go to a Starbucks and where they write the name on the cup and hey presto you get the name. In school I would just ask them, hey, how do you spell your name? I had a friend who had the same name but spelled with an vowel instead on an vowel. You ask, how do you spell your name? TOM cool, just making sure. Come up with an excuse where you need to write their name down for something, then ask how to spell their name. Take them to Starbucks and buy them a coffee. They'll be asked their name. Or just say you're shit with names. What is your full name? Depending on the situation, I will ask them to spell their name or ask for their name, and when they tell me I say oh sorry I meant your last name. I just wait for someone else to say it if it's a public gathering. Get their number I guess. Ask them how they spell their name or pronounce it. Ask how they spell their name. Then when they spell Bob and give you a weird look, you say you meant their last name. Then just hope their last name isn't Smith or something simple. Ask them how they spell their name if you're doing an assignment or something together, or if you're trying to figure out who may be going somewhere with you. Add me on Snapchat. Ask them what word they think best rhymes with their name. Hopefully that would jog your memory. I like to throw myself under the name bus, which just means you right off the bat apologize that you can't remember their name. Then the trick is to not automatically give up your own name in response. 3 out of 4 times they will ask you what your name is, because they forgot as well. You say sorry I didn't ask for your name. From my perspective this seems genuine. I'd still just ask. How do you spell your name? Edit. Someone already said this. : Never really got to use it but like this. You, hey what was your name again? Them, A, they don't care and tell you, or B, offended you forgot my name. You, oh my bad I meant your last name. Then hope they say their full name. Ask them how they spell their name. I ask a kid if there's one available who would know. They don't pick up on why I'm asking and probably won't tell the adult I asked. And that guy is your uncle, right? Cool. What's his name? Do what I do. Avoid saying their name ever again until it is said in front of you. Brew, what's up? Dude, yo, do you need a plate? Excuse me, nice to see you. Hello gorgeous, or avoid pronouns altogether. I just ask. I just don't wanna pretend anymore. It could be a month later. Excuse me, run your name by me again? Just admit it and move on. I have people I have known for years and know their name, but just forget it at the moment. I say I'm sorry, totally spacing on your name today. I always just ask how do you spell your name again, is it? Then kind of let them finish it for me. It works unless it's like Jane or Tim or something, but I can usually laugh and play that off. Give them a random obviously wrong name as a joke so he correct you. I'm a receptionist so I run into this all the time at work. I just ask for their work email so I can make sure the floor plan is updated and then find them by their email in the directory. Or I can ask them what their last name is, how it's spelled, so I can look them up real quick in the directory. I ask people to spell their name for me, to make sure I've got it right. Ask them to sign something, or put their contact info in your phone. If they put a nickname like Jackass, just call them that until they correct you. Had this in high school. From year 1, this girl kept giving me hugs and saying hi to me, even using my name. No idea how she knew it, but we became good friends. But it wasn't until senior year that I was finally in a class with her and got to hear her name through attendance. You know how some people have their usernames as their real names, just backwards? How would you pronounce yours? Just ask them how they spell their name. If I'm on a date or something, I'll strike up random conversation about cursive and ask to see theirs. Them, what should I write? Me, I'll just write your name.